back to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 106. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back each week. If you're a new viewer, please click the subscribe button down below, the little red button. And if you click the little bell icon next to it, that will let you know anytime I post a video, which is normally Saturdays, but lately has been Saturdays and Wednesdays, and will be for the foreseeable future. So, yes, right now for the time being, I've got 2 videos coming up each week on Monday and on Wednesday. Speaking of which, this Wednesday will be our last Knitting 101 class where we will be blocking our finished cowl. But the following week, we will be starting a series of different requested videos that you all have asked for. So stay tuned for those. So let's get started. I have a finished object. I finished my Taiga Shawl. This is a crochet pattern. It is for free. Here it is. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you saw the picture when it was on the blocking boards. I just took it off before filming. So this was knit out of Plymouth yarn. It is a 75% acrylic, 25% wool, and I used 2 skeins. It's the Hot Cakes is the name of the skein from Plymouth yarn, and the color I believe was called Denim. And the colors are pretty true that are showing up. And it took me, like I said, 2 skeins, and each skein is 403 or 404 yards. So this is all that I have left of the 2 skeins. So it took me almost 800 yards. Now, this is not a shawl that I'm going to wear like I'm wearing this one around my neck, because this is a worsted weight, so it's kind of bulky, and it is fairly long. It's probably about 2.5 feet long. So this is one I will be wearing around my shoulders. Now, I did cheat on this a little bit. Here's my edging here. Last week I used the fancy crochet terminology of a fancy lacy loopy stitch. Yeah, I've since learned that it's the puff stitch. So this was a puff stitch with some chains in between. But this little section here, this kind of loop, this was supposed to have a picot edging on it. But as you saw, I ran out of yarn, and I knew that this little bit was not going to be enough to do the picot edging. So I just cheated and kind of put a loopy edge of chain stitches on the bottom. I did put the tassels. You can see I still need to trim them. There's 3 of them. I put the ones on the ends, which I like. The one in the center, I'm not certain that I'm going to keep, because this falls right about to my hips, and this at the bottom of my hips is not attractive. It makes me look like I have a tail. So I'm not real certain that that's going to stay there. You can see where my progress keeper was last week. And there is the tail, which is probably going to come off. So yes, here it is. And because it's kind of hard for me to hold it up in its entirety, because it's probably about 5 feet from tip to tip, I will insert a picture here when I was blocking it. So I'll put that right here. So that is my finished object. Next, I have a half-finished object. For those of you who have been watching for the last few weeks, I am doing a test knit. I do knit and I'm learning to crochet. So this is a test knit that I was doing for Janine of the Yarn and You Girl podcast. It's called the Cooper Spur Pullover. And when it is released, it is available in size extra small all the way up to the 2X, which unfortunately is the size that I'm making. This is an oversized pullover, so it has a lot of positive ease. So this is actually like bigger than I am. So that's nice. Anyway, you knit it from the bottom up. So I finished this section. Here's the bottom. And then you can see I changed my colors a little bit. And then you can see my progress keeper right here. So I knit up the top here. This needs to be done by the end of the month. So I have been kind of knitting on this frantically because I want to make sure that I finish it because I have the back to do. This is the front of it. So let me show you up front. You have these crisscross stitches. This is a lot of fun to do, this stitch. And you can see further down here how I started the crisscross stitching with the variegated yarn, and then I started striping it. And then when I got up to the solid portions, which are the shoulders, then I just did some more striping with the variegated. So that is the front of the Cooper Spur pullover. But I've been working on the back as well. So let me show you that. I've gotten this much knit of the back. So, yeah, so I'm working on it, like I said, frantically because she was gracious enough to allow me to be a test knitter and to give me a copy of the pattern ahead of time to test knit for her. So I want to make sure that I follow through with the commitment and get it done. So I've been knitting like crazy on that a little bit this week. Now back to some crochet. Based on the Taiga shawl that I showed you that I just finished, I'm using elements of it to make a poncho. And it's pretty much single crochet with a chain in between, and I like the texture it's creating. But I am making the poncho with some stripes in it. It doesn't have the double crochets in it that the Taiga shawl does. So it is in navy and like a red, kind of a blood color red. And I'm making two of them at a time. So I'm basically doing two shawls. I'm going to hook them together. So this is the one side that I haven't done a whole lot on this one this week. You can see right here with my progress keeper. I just put the blue on and I'm starting with back to the oatmeal color. And this progress keeper was given to me by Kathy Tinkler. She's probably one of my longest viewing subscribers. She's been with me since like, I think the 4th or 5th week that I've been podcasting. So thank you, Kathy. Every time I put this on, I think of you. So that is the one side. And because I'm trying to keep them even so I don't run out of yarn and have it short in the front and long in the back, I've been working, this is the other side of it. I got a little further with this side. There is where I was last week, and I've gone through the blue, and I'm almost ready to change colors to the red. And this stitch marker has the state of Pennsylvania on it, which is the state that I live in. So here they are. There's two of them that are identical. And I'm just making them till I run out of yarn. The oatmeal color that I'm using, I'm not sure what it is. I know it's a wool blend, but I don't know the name or the brand or anything because I bought it at a warehouse mill end type of thing, so there was no branding or anything on it. The stripes, however, I am using Knit Picks palette yarn, which is 100% wool. It's not scratchy. I mean, it's not soft like merino, but it's certainly not something, you know, that's going to itch up against your face. In fact, this shawl that I'm wearing, this is my Keeping You in Stitches shawl that I designed. That is all made out of this. So, yeah, it does not scratch. So I've got that project going on. Then I'm working on the Whitehorn shawl. And it's a little scrunched up on the needles right now because this is a very wide shawl. It's not real deep, but it's wide. And so it's taking up a lot of space on my circular needle on the cords. So you can see last week, right here is my progress keeper. So I've knit about 2 inches, and I'm actually starting into the bottom of this, which is where there will be a design element. I thought when I initially told you that it was going to be color work or stranded work, where you're carrying a yarn in from your left hand and your right hand, and they're passing each other in the back where you're carrying strands of yarn, which is why they call it stranded work or color work. It turns out it's mosaic, which means I'm only actually dealing with one color at a time, and where it changes color here, you can see it goes from the black to the gray. That's actually just a slip stitch. So, yeah, so I'm at the color work at this point. So that part's exciting. I hope to get that finished in the next week or two and get it blocked so that I'll have it to show you guys. But it was Interweave Knits, and it was their summer magazine. So all of the patterns had a Southwest type of theme to them. So the pattern that's at the bottom of the shawl is also kind of Southwest themed. It is from a chart. It's a charted pattern when it comes to the mosaic section. And here you can see the red edge here is what I am knitting now. So you can see the design work that's going to be on there. And last but not least, the last project I'm working on, if you've been watching, I made the front half of my Plaid Aptation poncho, and I'm now working on the back half. This is being knit from a Craftsy kit. The pattern is available individually. You can go on Ravelry. It's called Plaid Aptation. And in all honesty, it's cheaper to buy the pattern separately and then just buy your yarn. The yarn I am using, this came as a kit because it was on sale at the time. And this is 100% acrylic. It is Sprightly yarn from Craftsy. If you do want to use this specific yarn, it is on sale right now for $3.16 a skein. So here it is. This is as far as you can see my progress keeper where I was last week. And this progress keeper, let me get it up close. See this little blue bird. And here it says laugh much, love often. Or laugh often, love much. On the bottom here. This was gifted to me by Kathleen Champ. So thank you, Kathleen. She won a skein of yarn a while back. And so she sent me this cute little thank you card. See, it says thank you with an EWE. I thought that was cute with a sheep. And she sent me a progress keeper. So I am using that. And then the stitch markers I am using were actually from Lucy. She and I did a kind of a yarn box swap a couple months ago where we swapped. She sent me a whole bunch of really good smelling soap. I'm using the lilac one right now, Lucy, and it smells amazing. It's so soft. It's like really, really lathery and creamy. And as soon as I step into the tub, I can smell the smell of the lavender. So it's really, really nice. So anyway, in that box, along with what she and I exchanged, she sent me some stitch markers. So there are these stitch markers. There's 2 of each of these. So there's these stitch markers which have like a blue stone. Oh, they're twisting on me. They have like a little blue stone right there. And then there are 2 of these that have like a crystal bead on the end. And then there are 2 that have a starfish on them. So I'm using stitch markers. If you're not a knitter, you use stitch markers to mark where your pattern changes, so just so it kind of catches your attention and you don't knit straight across. That's the purpose of a stitch marker, is just to denote where there is a pattern change. So I haven't done a whole lot on this week because I have 2 meetings this week and I will be taking this with me. I can knit during the meetings. I can't crochet during the meeting because it's kind of dimly lit. And because I'm still fairly new to crochet, I've got to really watch what I'm doing. So I need to be able to concentrate on the meeting. The other thing I thought would be interesting to show you is a few weeks ago, I also shared that I got some interchangeable needles that were given to me. So I thought I would show you what an interchangeable needle is. These are circular needles, which I use all the time. The interchangeable needles I'm untwisting this. There you go. I could add and make this cord longer by putting the extenders on this. So you can make your cords, you can put shorter cords on. I could change the size of the needle and not have to take the work off of the cords. I would just put it back on and twist it back in place. Just like that. These are from Joann Fabrics. I think Michaels also sells them, and maybe Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure. But I know that Michaels and Joann sells them. You can online. These are Takumi interchangeable needles. They're bamboo. And the only problem I'm finding with them is I usually use metal needles because I find they let me knit faster. These are very smooth. The joins where they join to the cable are very smooth. There's nothing that's snaggy on them or anything. But wood needles you do tend to knit slower with wooden needles because they don't slide as easy on the needle itself. The other thing is, I keep hurting myself, these are very pointy. I know that point will wear down a little bit after use, but the needles that I tend to use all the time, even though they're metal, they're not overly pointed, they're kind of blunt on the ends. So I keep poking myself with them, so takes a little bit of getting used to. But I do like the needles, but I thought I would show those to you just in case you weren't familiar with interchangeable needles, so you would know what they were. Last week I talked about Setta's Place is hosting a traveling infinity cowl or infinity scarf. There's 12 or 13 podcasters participating. She actually has several other traveling infinity scarves going where some of her viewers are doing this as well. But what we're doing is she is sending this scarf around to the 12 podcasters that are participating. When the scarf comes to us, we are to add anywhere from 3 to 6 rows in whatever color we would like. It does need to be an acrylic yarn because some people are allergic to wool. But it has to be an acrylic yarn, and we're to add 3 to 6 rows of our favorite color and our favorite stitch. So far, the Traveling in Infinity scarf has gone to Setta herself, who started it. She did 3 rows. She sent it up to Debbie, the Canadian crocheter. I'm not sure why she pronounces it crocheter instead of crocheter. I'm not real sure. I'm sure there's a reason. But she did the puff stitch. She stole my stitch. I'm only kidding, but I am new to crochet, so I'm very, very limited in what stitches I know. So I just learned the puff stitch when I was doing the Taiga Shawl, so I was like, I will do the puff stitch. And then I watched her video this week, and she did the puff stitch. And I went, oh, now I got to learn another stitch. I think I've got it covered. So I'll explain that in just a minute. It went from Debbie down to Dana of Tabitha's Treasures, and Dana is one of the viewers here on the podcast. So, hi Dana. Don't do the puff stitch. Don't steal my stitch. Anyway, I will tell you what I'm not telling you the stitch I'm doing, but because I want it to be a surprise. I will film my doing it so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a combination of 2 stitches, I believe. Because I am a knitter as well as a crocheter, or a crochet want-to-be-er, but I'm going to use this. This is a giant sized, size 50 knitting needle. I've used these once. I have a set of them. I've used them once. But there is a crochet stitch that actually uses this needle, and I have done it before. So I'm going to be using this. These are little clues. And then I'm going to also do a stitch using Tunisian crochet. Now, if you're not familiar with Tunisian crochet, let me show it to you. It's a regular crochet hook with a cable attached. And Tunisian crochet is actually a process where row 1, you gather up all of these stitches and they load onto the cable. And then the second part of the row, you actually take them back off again. So if you would like to see something I've done with Tunisian crochet, I will put a link right up above here. If you click on that little eye, it will take you to a tutorial of Tunisian crochet. There are a lot of different stitches. In the tutorial, I just show you the basic stitch, which is probably the one I'm going to do. But yeah, so I'm going to do a combination of 2 stitches to do my my part of the infinity scarf. So we have that going around, and you can check the other podcasters' videos. All the links are down below. If you click on those, like I said, so far it's been Setta and Debbie, and Dana has it now. So if you watch any of those, you will be able to see what they did. And I'm not sure when it will be coming to me, because Setta spins the wheel of infinity scarf wisdom there and comes up with one of the names of who it gets sent to next. So who knows? It's a mystery. So if you follow any of those links, you'll be able to watch the process of this scarf and how it grows. So the next part of the video here, Yoka, who lives in the Netherlands, went on a vacation, and she sent me some pictures of a yarn shop she visited while she was there. So I thought it would be kind of fun to see a yarn shop in another country. So I'm going to insert her video right here. Now, if you would like to send me pictures of your local yarn shop or a yarn shop you visit on a vacation or something, that would be a lot of fun, and I'm sure everybody else would enjoy seeing it too. It would be like yarn shops around the world. That could be fun. If you would like to do that, you can send your photos to me via my email address, which is KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com. And if you send them there, just tell me a little bit about the shop and the area. You know, give me as much information as you can so I can put it together in the video portion. But I think we would all enjoy it. The only thing I would say is just make sure you have permission from the yarn shop owner to take the pictures. Because it is their property. You want to make sure that they don't have a problem with it. So, you know, just ask the yarn shop. I've never had a yarn shop tell me no, because it's free advertising for them. So, like I said, I would love to see love to see pictures of your yarn shops. Just give me all the information and we will put it in so the rest of us can drool our way through your local yarn shop. So that is about all I have today as far as my content, but we'll move on to our... Now, in our Come and Get It section today, Annie's is having a fall clearance sale, and it's a pretty good one. She's got up to 60% or up to 50% off. So check it out. There's a lot of kits that are there. There's a lot of it is patterns, and the patterns are really, really cheap. There was a really pretty sweater pattern I was eyeing that was, I think, $2.99. It was like half off, something like that. So yeah, check that out. That is Annie's Craft Store, and all of the links to these sales are right down below. I am an affiliate, so if you buy through any of those links, I do get a percentage of the sale. And what I do is that percentage of the sale helps to pay for the giveaways and the yarn that I buy for different giveaways and things that I do. So yeah, so if you do buy, it helps me if you buy through those links, because somebody asked, do I get any money out of it? And actually, yes, I do. I just get it's a small portion, but any little bit helps, and it does help offset the cost of the giveaways and the shipping and all that kind of thing. So let's move on. Craftsy. They are having in their clearance sale the Sprightly yarn, which I told you about that I'm using. Actually, for my Whitehorn shawl and my Plaid Aptation are both using the same yarn, and that is the Sprightly. And that's acrylic worsted weight, and it is on sale for $3.16 in their clearance section. Over at Hobium Yarn, in their clearance section, can you tell I like clearance? Yes. My son says it attracts me like a bug to a light. Anyway, yes, in Hobium's clearance sale, they are running in several areas. You can buy like skeins of yarn in 5 skein bundles. They are selling some 5 skein bundles right now for $7.65. That's not per skein. That's for all 5 skeins is $7.65. So by the time you add that, the shipping sounds like it's pricey, but it's 2-day delivery. So as soon as they ship, it's there in 2 days. And it's excellent. I mean, I've ordered from them twice now, and both times it's been 2 days from the time they ship it, it's in my door. And by the time you figure that into the cost of the yarn and divide it out, it's still pretty cheap. It's cheaper than buying it at the store. So yeah, check out Hobium. Knit Crate is offering the 20% off your first subscription box. You do need to use the coupon code KCreations20 in order to get that discount. But they are offering that. And Knit Picks is having a huge sale. They are offering up to 60% off on over 1,200 of their yarns. So they're having a huge big blowout sale right now. Like I said, over 1,200 different yarns they've got for up to 60% off. That's definitely one to go check out. So they've got a big one going on. And Lion Brand Yarns, they are offering 30% off their yarn and kits this month. So check those out. Last but not least, we have our Fall Along running until the end of this month. You can submit anything that you have made between September 1st and November 30th. Anything goes that is fiber related or sewing related. And you can send those entries to my Ravelry group, which is down below, or you can send it to my email address, KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, or you can send it through Facebook, which is Katrina Knits. If you do put it on Facebook, make sure you put that it is for the Fall Along, because lots of people post pictures over there, and that would probably be my least option. Your best option, if you can't do it on Ravelry, is to send it to my email. But anyway, if you do put it on Facebook, make sure you put down that it is for the Fall Along so that I know to enter you. And the winner is going to win a skein of yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners, which is an English yarn. And that will be awarded December 3rd, I think is when I'm going to have the video up. And the video will show everybody's projects. So you'll get to look at quite a bit, because it's almost a half hour's at this point worth of projects to drool over, and there's some gorgeous stuff you all are making. So yeah, I've been having fun. In fact, Charlene made this cute little vampire the other day, and I had to laugh at that. I had to show it to my daughter because I was like, look at this little vampire, he's so cute. Even my husband thought he was cute. So yeah, anyway, there are some beautiful projects that are over there. So I'm excited to share all those with you guys. And you can look at them on the Ravelry page if you want to. Not all of them are there, but most of them are posted through there. So you can go there and look through everybody's things and leave comments. And yeah, so that is it for this week. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to watch Wednesday when we have our final episode of Knitting 101, which will be blocking our cowl. And so I will be showing how to do that. And the following Wednesday, we will be beginning with viewer requested videos. So thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Bye.